it's Josh Water from JewishPrepper.com. It's the day after. What do I mean by that? It's the day after the airing of the show Doomsday Preppers on National Geographic, which had my episode in it. And it was quite an experience. And I hope to answer some of your questions. We've gotten a whole barrage of comments and questions, and I hope to go through a few things which I think need to be answered. Besides that, I want to thank everybody for watching my show, for supporting the show. Let's start from the beginning. I was contacted over a year ago by National Geographic, actually Sharp Entertainment, who does the filming for this show. And they asked me if I wanted to be on the show. At the time, it was the first season. We knew little about it. What I did know is I wasn't very happy, and I expressed this to them with the title of the show, Doomsday Preppers, because we all know that preppers, the vast majority of preppers, are not doomsdayers. We don't believe necessarily in an apocalypse or an Armageddon. We're preparing for any eventuality, whether it be man-made or a natural disaster. And that Doomsday Prepper name, I think, portrays us in the wrong light. But I still gave them the benefit of the doubt, and I assumed that they were going to be professional about it. And I have to admit that when it came to my show, I was pleasantly surprised. I was a little bit apprehensive, especially after the first season went and the second season came. And I saw a number of preppers on there that either acted very unprofessionally on the show, or they were portrayed as being unprofessional. I'm not going to judge them. But I think it showed preppers in a very negative light. And I was afraid, to be honest with you. I mean, they were here twice during the first season, filming in the second season, and they filmed almost 4 days worth of footage. That's a lot of footage, and we're talking from morning to night. And I knew that they were going to edit that down however they pleased to 15 or so minutes, very little time, so they could have basically done anything they wanted with it. And again, for my own episode, there was a few mistakes in there. There's definitely a few things I wish they put in, which they didn't. Some things I maybe have wished they left out, which they did. Whatever it is, I was relatively pleased with my show, and I think it was portrayed in a professional manner. That having been said, again, I have my problems with the show. I've expressed this to the producers. I've expressed this to others, that I think that I understand there has to be some sort of balance between entertainment and a raw documentary about preparing. I actually have, and you can see it on my YouTube channel, I do once a month here. It's broadcast on local television, PCTV. An hour show about emergency preparedness. But I don't have millions of people watching my show. And I won't have millions of people watching my show because it's not entertainment. It's not made in a sensational way, and it's just what it is. It's just the basic knowledge about the skills needed for survival, and it has nothing to do with entertainment, although I try to be somewhat humorous and entertaining. This show, on the other hand, is about ratings, and that's the bottom line. And they want to get, obviously, as much ratings as they can, and that can benefit us in many ways. The millions of people that are watching, if it's portrayed in the right way, we can educate them, we can introduce them to the idea of preparedness, and we can try to bring them on board, and I think that's important. So it's the day after. I've seen the show. Again, I was relatively pleased by the way that they showed me. I don't think it was in such a negative light. I don't think that they showed me in a way that embarrassed preppers in any way. So I'm relatively pleased, and I think it was somewhat educational. There were a few points that you could have gained from it, although again, there could have been a lot more. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. Secondly, I've gotten, like I said, a barrage of comments. Some of them ranging from support and how they loved the show and it was a wonderful segment, to other people which, to be honest, were anti-Semitic rants. I really don't give a damn about the anti-Semitic rants, and obviously the anti-Semites that are out there watching this, clearly they're not going to be pleased by the fact that there's a Jew that owns a gun and knows how to use it, and that doesn't bother me in the least. But for all the people in between, the people that were not necessarily just giving their support, or the people people that were just anti-Semitic rants. There were a lot of people that had questions, and some of them were justified questions. A lot of them asked questions about my preparedness, why I got a higher score than the other two people that were on the show. To tell you the truth, I can care less about the score. Doesn't matter to me. If they want to give me a 10 or if they wanted to give me a 110, makes no difference to me at all. Remember one thing if you don't remember anything else out of this video. Reality TV is not reality. A lot of it is scripted. A lot of it is edited down, and it's not reality. So that's the bottom line. When it comes down to it, I obviously have a lot of preps that were not shown on the show, even though they were filmed. And I have a lot of preps that I didn't even bother showing to the film crew because, to be honest with you, I still believe in operational security. And understanding that, I know that I'm not going to show on national television everything, all my security preparedness. And a lot of people have complaints. You know, why are these preppers getting on and showing everything, you know, their whole security plan and their bug out location? I didn't do that. I don't know, I can't speak for the other ones. I had plenty of stuff and plenty of plans and plenty of security contingency plans which were not even mentioned to the film crew. And for good reason. Other people were questioning the fact that I don't have enough of this or I have enough of that. Again, reality TV is not reality, and what you saw was what they wanted you to see. And I would assume this was the same way with all the preppers. You don't necessarily see the whole picture. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people complaining how horrible this show was, how horrible this season is, how horrible the entire season. I don't even know why they bother watching it and commenting. If they hate it so much, turn the channel. If you get National Geographic, you probably get 300 other channels, and nobody's forcing you to watch it. So watch some other channel. I don't make any money off of this, so it doesn't matter to me. That having been said, if you are interested in learning something, it's a great place to learn something, to come up with some new ideas, to learn more, to investigate more, and I suggest you do so. Some people questioned, a lot of people questioned, the last segment, the video segment I did, where I came on and I basically said, and it was, I think, unedited, that things are getting very dangerous here in the United States and we're considering moving back to Israel. We haven't done so yet, we're still here in the United States. But that is an option for us, and a lot of people were shocked. And they said, how could it be that in Israel, in the middle of the Middle East, in the middle of a war zone, you're going to be more safe than you are here in the Golden Land? And let me tell you this. We have a tradition, in our Jewish tradition, that in the end of days, whatever that means, Israel is going to be like a hurricane. The world is going to be in an upheaval, and everyone's going to look at Israel and see a hurricane that's going around and round and think that is the most dangerous place in the world to be. When in reality, that is going to be the calm in the eye of the storm. And everything around it is what's going to be dangerous. Now, I can't speak about what's happening specific here in the United States or in the Middle East. Obviously, everybody knows that there's a lot going on. But let me tell you, having lived for a large portion of my life in Israel, whatever you hear on the news about bombings and shootings and whatever, I've always felt more safe as a Jew in Israel than here in the United States. And I'm going to leave it at that. Why I had a beard. Some people complained, oh, I lost the election, so therefore I looked like a hobo. That had nothing to do with it. When I recorded that video at the end, it was during a period of the Jewish calendar where we actually follow rites of mourning because of the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago. And we don't do certain things like shave. So it was a simple explanation, had nothing else to do with what was going on in my life. I just wasn't shaving because of that. But you know what? Again, I don't give a damn. To be honest with you, I can do whatever I want with my facial hair, and I don't care what anybody thinks. So I'm going to leave that at that. Again, I was happy with the show, just to full circle here. Happy with the show. I was happy how they portrayed me. And I think that there's a lot to learn. I've gotten the message out which I wanted to get out, which is that preppers come in all sorts of and shapes and sizes and creeds. And by that I wanted to mention another comment that I've gone, why do I have Jewish preppers? You know, there aren't Muslim preppers, there's not Buddhist preppers that I'm aware of. Why Jewish preppers? Do I mean I want to only save the Jews? Of course not. And a lot of the material and knowledge that I have and skills that I have to share are things that are good for everyone. The reason I call it Jewish Preppers is twofold. First of all, there are specific restrictions for Jews, for Orthodox Jews, people that keep the tradition, whether it be kosher or the Sabbath or holidays, and these are things you need to be aware of and need to coordinate with if you're going to be a prepper as an Orthodox Jew. The second thing is, I'm trying to target the Jews. I mean, everyone knows, generally, the vast majority of Jews out there are very liberal-minded. You know, a lot of them have their heads in the sand. They're anti-gun. They think that, you know, people that are willing to stand up and defend themselves are in the wrong. And I'm trying to get a message to them that it's all right. We live in the United States with the Constitution, with the Second Amendment. It's all right to own guns. I'm a certified firearms instructor. I try to train Jews. Not only Jews, I train everyone, but I try to target my community because I feel a certain obligation for my community. So again, we have a website, jewishpreppers.com. I have a YouTube channel, Jewish Preppers, Jewish Prepper 1. Those channels are not only exclusively for the Jewish community. It's for everyone. And like I said, everyone can enjoy that information. But what I have to provide to the Jewish community in specific, I don't think it's unique, and I think it's exclusive to our community, and it's not like any other community in the world. There's no other website like it anywhere. And I encourage everyone to go right now over to jewishpreppers.com and to immediately look at that site. Please, we've worked a ton on that site. We put a lot of money and effort in trying to get it perfect for you. Right? This is not for me. You know, I'm trying to. There are ads on there. You know, we are trying to make some money off of it. There's nothing wrong with that. I believe in a free market. I believe in capitalism. I believe it's all right. I've spent enough money and time, a lot more than I'm ever going to make on that site. So believe me, I'm not out there for the money. I'm out there to help you. So please support us. Come to the site, sign on, and support our YouTube channel and everything we have to offer. We're trying to help you. We're trying to spread the message. We would very much appreciate if you can go out and you can spread to your friends the message that jewishpreppers.com is not only for Jews, it's for everyone, and we want everyone to come to us and be a one-stop shop for knowledge. We want also people that have the talent and have the skills to send us articles. We want again, we're open to everyone, and we want everyone to be involved in this. We want this to be a project that is all-inclusive. So, please again, subscribe to the YouTube. When it comes to this website, come visit, look around. If you have any suggestions or comments, that's the last thing I wanted to point out. Hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, commented after the show. Big talkers, you know, this guy got this wrong, and he's an idiot because of that, and he's this and he's that, and whatever the stupid comments were. You know what? If you have constructive criticism, I'm willing to take it. I don't mind. In fact, I appreciate it. I've offered many times on Twitter, on Facebook, on all the different channels, my contacts on the website. Come to me directly. Give me your constructive criticism. I'll take it. I will appreciate it. But if you're just going to blab your mouth off on Facebook and Twitter and tell me how negative and how terrible the show is and how terrible this guy is, you know what? Keep it to yourself. You know, nobody takes you seriously unless you're going to directly speak to me. I can take it. Please feel free to contact me on jewishpreppers.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Have a great night, and happy Hanukkah.